Hey everyone, I hope you guys are enjoying these videos I've been doing. Today's video is going to be a July astrology forecast, just going over the transits for the month. This is going to be one of the most intense, challenging, frustrating months of the year, and that's due to the Mars opposition to Saturn and the Sun opposition to Pluto. Basically, we're having some disagreements between family, home life, security, safety, peace, comfortability, and achievement or boundaries, limitations. So there's kind of this bubbling anger that is definitely felt across the board. There can be a level of creativity coming into play, maybe trying to balance those things, family, work, career, with your creative ventures, just because there's so much Leo energy. A lot of like fun, wanting to maybe go out and enjoy yourself, connect with people, but you're having to just set in new restrictions, possibly within relationships, maybe with coworkers or with partners, and just being more authentically yourself. Leo is all about how can we be the most authentic self? How can we be the most creative version of yourself, where we are not apologizing for who we are? So that's kind of the overview of the month, and I'm going to get into the individual transits. This isn't going to be for each rising sign, but if you guys have requests, leave them below. I think I also want to start doing again the sun and moon videos, where I take one sun sign and one moon sign and just put it together and make a video on that type of a person, just because those are kind of fun and easy to do. But like I said, if you have any requests, please leave them below. Now, the first transit is on July 1st, which was the Sun conjunct Mercury in Cancer. And this was a transit where maybe there was some new news or some gossip or something that came to light for you in your life, and you're just having to adjust and deal with it or take action on it in a new way. Mercury conjunct the Sun. People usually are very communicative, very thoughtful, very in their head even, because that mental is so engaged with their ego. So it could even be like an ego battle or something of that sort that you've been dealing with. And then we have the full moon in Capricorn, which I've made a video on, so please go and see that for a further dive into the Capricorn full moon, which was July 3rd. Now this transit was a pretty big one. It was more of a realization, maybe that news that you heard brought to attention some boundaries and restrictions that you need to set up in your life, or even cutting people out, choosing family over ambition, or choosing security and peace over putting yourself out there. There's just a lot of ways that could play out. So see my last video on that Capricorn full moon. Then we're having Mars move into Virgo July 10th, which when Mars moves into Virgo, it kind of initiates this harvesting season. So a lot of work that you've been putting into play, there can be action towards that. There can be maybe you needing to take additional steps to finalize those types of things, or it can just be a time to harvest that work, which can be work, it's not always fun. There's this level of like Leo energy in the background with Venus and Mercury, being in Leo now, and there's sort of this sense of like wanting to dive into your creativity and maybe dive further into hobbies that you have, but there's this also sense of like work and duty that Virgo is reminding us of. So the next day Mercury does go into Leo, and that's kind of what I mentioned. You're maybe having these ideas of how can I be more truly authentic to myself? Who do I need to kick out of my life or cut off out of my life, separate from, to be the best version of myself, to be able to lean into my creativity and my artistic methods, whatever that might be for you, writing, reading, drawing, astrology, different like methods that people have to dig deeper into who they are as an individual. So there is that individuality aspect to this month, where you're setting up these boundaries, restrictions, even rituals and routines to help facilitate what you want to create. It's definitely a month of creation. Then we have the full moon in Cancer, July 16th, further emphasizing that family, home life, peace, safety. The Cancer is all about the hard shell on the outside, softness on the inside. So learning who you need to keep that shell or that wall up with, and who you can be more sensitive, and who you can connect with in that way is just going to be basically that theme. Now we have Mars opposite to Saturn retrograde on the 20th of July. So this is that Virgo Pisces opposition. And this is a really tough one. This is one where there could be a lot of anger coming to the forefront, new boundaries, restrictions, maybe being let go from work, maybe changing careers or breaking up with a partner. It's like a very intense breakup aspect, or possibly just setting new limitations and boundaries, maybe deciding, who you can share things with, who you can be around, who you can give your efforts to, and who you need to basically restrict and put up walls with. So that's a tense aspect. It's definitely one of the more difficult aspects, especially from Pisces to Virgo, because there's this aspect of like Mars wanting to work and serve and achieve in Virgo and get things done, where Saturn and Pisces is more, it's a complicated opposition, because Saturn and Pisces is learning how to set boundaries with people. Pisces isn't good about boundaries. Pisces isn't good about knowing who to let in and who to keep out. Pisces wants to, for the most part, let people in. Pisces can be quite manipulative and, have some definitely negative sides, but there is a potential for just some anger to be built up during this time. And even, arguments, fights, potential drug and alcohol use around this time if you're someone who struggles with those types of things. So just be aware of that. Then we have the Sun conjunct Venus retrograde in Leo, which is on July 22nd. Now, this whole Venus retrograde, I made a video on that too, so see my last video on Venus retrograde, but there is a review of some relationship. Venus is all about connecting, love, relationships, even beauty. Like if you're deciding how you want to change your look or level up or adjust something, visually that you deal with, I would wait until Venus goes direct to, finalize anything aesthetic like that. And relationships as well. You can definitely have some falling out, arguments, disagreements, reviews and revisions of relationships. But with Leo in there, it's a more romantic type of like a relationship that you can be having this problem with, or it can be coming to the surface. Even like how you receive and what you value in relationships. You can be totally changing your outlook on like what you want, what you value, what you need, those types of things. So just keep aware of that. But Venus retrogrades aren't always of an intense aspect to deal with. So just keep it in the back of your head, but don't stress about Venus retrograde. Then we have Mercury and Venus conjunct in Leo. So there can be some more news, communication, even gossip coming to you during that time. Maybe revisiting how you speak to your friends, who you communicate with, who you can trust, that kind of thing. On the 28th, Mercury moves into Virgo. Now that even further intensifies the theme of like work and service, and just deciding like how you're going to take your next steps. Virgo is all about routine, methods, systems. So there will be some adjustment to that, and possibly like a new choice or decision of how you're going to move forward with your mental work or with your, daily routines and that kind of thing. So that is the July forecast. Just a quick overview, like I said. Hope you guys are enjoying these videos, and please let me know your feedback below. If you want to get a reading, you can also email me. I will be starting to take readings now, so you can request that via email. And yeah, I hope you guys are having a really great day, and good luck with the month of July. Bye.